This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Castle Rock, Colorado. I'm here to discuss how to divorce-proof your marriage. For over 25 years, her positive approach in helping people find life choices has been very successful. I am here with Waverly J. Hansen. Thanks so much for joining us here today. I mean, this really has been quite a journey for you. Something, obviously, helping people has been important to you. You have your master's degree in counseling. You yourself, you experienced a long-term happy marriage as well. Basically, this is something that is near and dear to your heart. Share with me a little bit how it is you got involved doing this type of industry.
I think the whole thing is because I always have cared about people and looking into what is going on that is interfering with them having the life they could have, being able to use the gifts and talents that they maybe don't notice in themselves. And I've always enjoyed helping people find their path.
Excellent. Let me ask you this. As we all start the beginning of our marriage path, I mean, at the beginning, I believe most people would say it's pretty easy to connect. It's fun. It's enjoyable. But after it goes on for a little while, soon or not, you start maybe missing something. Maybe there's a need to reconnect. Is this really where you come along and are able to help folks?
Yes, I've really been surprised how many people are taken back when that happens to their marriage. And I find that many of them don't understand about stages or seasons of marriage, and that it's very, very normal to be infatuated with each other at first. And in that euphoric stage, which we all love, we don't see any faults in each other. And so that's a fun stage, but it is a stage. It can't last forever.
And it doesn't last forever. As we go along down our path, basically, that need to reconnect, what does connecting mean to you, and is it something that should take place daily?
I think it should take place daily. Most of the couples that sit on my couch here tell me, when I ask them how long it's been since they've had fun together, the majority of time they look at each other and they have to think about that. Many times it's been a year or more.
Wow. You feel that people can change for the better, but they have to be able to see that maybe there's a problem that does exist, and they have to also be able to see that there will be a benefit. Is this what you found?
Yes, people come because they know they have a problem, but they often don't know if there's a solution. And so my job, the first session that I'm getting acquainted with them, is to help them believe that it can happen for them. And because they're feeling so bad, so many times I have to say, I can believe for you because I've seen it happen hundreds of times now.
Interesting. I mean, I know for myself, when problems are present, challenges are present, and if it begins a daily situation or a weekly situation, we don't reach out for help. We really instead become more overwhelmed. I imagine the folks that you actually deal with, they almost to the point where they're almost hopeless. It's like, you know what, I'm ready to throw in the towel. I believe this is done.
Usually one of the people that is coming is kind of dragged there by the other one. Usually one person has given up and isn't very hopeful that anything can change. One of the research things that I like to tell them about is that there was a study done on couples that thought they needed a divorce and then decided, let's try to work it out. They surveyed them 5 years later. They had somehow managed to stay together, and almost 80% of them reported being very happy in their marriage. And they really were so glad that they tried, and they were feeling so much happier. Some stages of life are just hard.
Interesting. I mean, you're basically known, your methods are known as being nurturing, being gently challenging, basically making people come out of their shells a little bit and understand who it is they are. This is something that you're able to relate with them very well. Is that where a connection between you and them actually exists?
I think so. I think people can tell that I'm genuinely caring about them. I'm not just, this is way more than a job to me. It is really a passion and a mission to save marriages, and because I've seen it happen so much, I just want it for everyone. And I always ask people, are you willing to do some things differently than you've been doing? Because, you know, if you're not, then there isn't a whole lot of hope because you keep doing the same thing, you keep getting the same pain. I say a lot of people do not want a divorce. They just want the pain to stop, and they don't have any idea how to make it stop, so they run for divorce because that seems like their only solution.
Let me ask you, I mean, as a licensed counselor, a relationship coach, you're licensed in military relationships as well, even in training, education. You are really able to pull from quite a few different methods, I would imagine. You have quite a toolbox that you're able to help people with. Does that make it enjoyable for you?
It's very enjoyable for me. I picture that all of us go through life with a little toolbox. And by the time people come to me, they've been using every tool that's in their toolbox. None of them are working anymore. So my goal is when people come for their first session, that they'll leave with at least one or two tools that they can immediately start to use. And then when they end, that they will have a whole toolbox more of things that they can use that really help them to reconnect.
Nice. Let me ask you, couples out there that are going through some challenges, it's almost easy for people to see the positives of divorce, look across the fence and realize what this new fantasy life would be like. Yet at the same time, we don't really realize the negative effects that divorce can bring. Is that what you find?
Very much so. Unfortunately, because people are grasping at straws and wanting to believe life can be better, they are fantasizing a lot about what life will be like in this new, wonderful life. Most of the time they haven't faced the realities of how they're both going to be much poorer, and their children are probably going to want them to be back together, and so they will cause all kinds of problems and also really work hard to get mom and dad back together. So I see a lot of children also, and most of those children will tell me why they believe their parents are getting a divorce has something to do with something they did.
Absolutely, and that's many times those facts are very apparent, but people can't see that because you're going through so much of it there. Really, the danger is not in considering divorce. I mean, a lot of people feel, oh, I'm considering divorce, I should just throw in the towel. The danger is, like you said, in executing that divorce, because people that have stuck it out, found help. That statistic you gave is amazing. 80% or find out that they're actually happier than they were before. That has to be hopeful for people out there.
It is very hopeful. In fact, I had a man yesterday say, I'm hanging on to that. Right now he's struggling, and I've only seen them twice, and he's wanting to believe and still struggling, and so he said, I'm hanging on to that stat, and I'm believing that if we do things differently, that it can be different. And this first week since they've been here, they came back so much more hopeful. So it was really fun to watch relatively quickly people start to sit closer on the couch, start acting like maybe they kind of like each other again instead of being so angry.
That's exciting. I would love to see that transform right before my eyes. Basically, like you say, people don't, I mean, it's nobody's desire to get a divorce. We don't start out and say, I'd like to get a divorce. But like you said, we want the pain to stop. And so therefore we're kind of pushed back into a corner where we feel we don't have any other alternatives or any other options. Is this what you provide for people? Some options that are basically able to build that marriage again?
Yes, and I always tell people marriage problems are not just marriage problems. Marriage problems also involve each of your own individual needs, your own individual things. And so I try to work with them on both of them at the same time. So sometimes we divide up the session, work with each of them a bit, and then come back together and work together. So it just depends on how serious the problem is and what's contributed to it that sometimes they don't see, and then I see, and I know that if I talk to them together, sometimes it just makes it worse. So I help them work on their own individual stuff without the other person necessarily being involved in that piece.
Let's talk a little bit about the solution that you've put together. We're talking about a marriage roadmap. It is a 12-week live basic training here that you go through, but yet it's something that takes place right in the comfort and privacy of your own home. Tell me how it works exactly.
Okay. I found that I just was not able to see everyone that calls anymore, and that's a nice problem business-wise, but frustrating when I have to say no to people. So this is a way for me to help more people with the energy and the time I have, and because it's a small group, it's just 6 couples, we do online, either Skype or phone, whichever they prefer, and it really has worked out very well that people don't feel as threatened. I think when they're in their own home, it's not as hard to keep appointments because most of the time both of them are working, and when they get home, they really want to stay home. They really don't want to have to go out in the evening to do something. And so it's just kind of amazing to me how it can work that way instead of in person. Yeah, so I do both right now.
I mean, that is neat because you're actually making it easy for people to find help, affordable way for them to find help. You go through these, every week you're going through what they call modules. These are where you're basically assessing where you're at, finding out what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, asking the hard questions like, Am I fun to live with? I mean, those are things that we don't really do before we get married. We don't ask those questions.
Right. I really like that one. Am I fun to live with? Because it helps us look at our own stuff. It's so easy during when we're having conflict in a relationship to do a lot of blaming. And, think if it wasn't for my partner doing whatever they do, we'd be fine. It's really necessary for each person to look at their own piece and to own their own piece. Like, okay, I'm not perfect either, so why am I asking for perfection from this other person? So a lot of the tools we use are about understanding each other, learning to understand, not necessarily agreeing, but understand why that person may feel that way and not be okay with, we're 2 different people, of course. We have very different opinions. So if one person says, oh, we don't fight, we always agree on everything, I know one of them isn't being real.
I mean, like you say, it's very beneficial to know not only what your values are, but what your spouse's values are, how they're hardwired, how we're hardwired, how do we get here to begin with, how we have these beliefs that we have. And then once you understand a lot of those things, you almost become your own professional. They can almost start seeing the warning signs and taking care of them before they become big, I would imagine.
Yes, yes. And when I first started this course, my intention was to just keep it a webinar video course. But as I went on, I saw the need for publishing a book too. So if people don't want to join the 12-week program, they can join the 12-chapter program. And this book just came out that helps people be able to actually just read about it, do some of those things on their own.
I mean, what I like about it, you've got the hard copy here. You've got basically online. It's going to be some work. I mean, we're talking about assignments, making sure you're accountable, but yet it's work that has a reward at the end, which has to really excite people, knowing that you're actually getting somewhere.
Yes, it's very enjoyable watching that. I don't want to present it as easy in the sense that it doesn't take any effort. It's easy in the sense of it's something anyone can do, but it does take an effort. We can't just drift along and do what we do automatically. We have to really think about it. Okay, is what I'm going to say right now bring us closer together, or is it going to push us apart? And just be more mindful.
This is a method, basically a marriage assessment and relationship map that has worked for 3 million people worldwide. Is it exciting to bring that kind of training and technology into people's lives?
It's very exciting. It keeps me going when I get really tired, just watching that happen. Of course, it's heartbreaking when it doesn't, but most of the time, if people will stick with it, the majority by far are successful.
Great. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. First of all, what you're going to see is her website. On the website, you'll be able to take a look at all the different areas that she is very well trained in. We're touching heavily on the marriage today, but quite honestly, any parts of your life out there when it comes to families, children. She has been trained, educated, certified, military families, everything across the board. She's been helping folks for over 25 years. Take a look also. You can download her ebook. They've got an ebook out there that you can download, and she also has the hard copy book now that you can get online as well. Go to the website, and you can see where you can take care of that. She's got a calendar online, quite a few tabs, quite a few things to learn right there on the website. We're talking about a blog where you can get some great tips that will help you on your journey out there. And once again, it's a free consultation. If you're not sure this is for you, she can basically talk to you and find out where it is you are and see if it's something that she can help with. You yourself, you have, you've gone through your own losses in your life that really started you on this journey. Losses continue throughout our life. Is this almost an honor to be included in people's inner circle, and it ends up being real rewarding for you?
I consider it an honor when people trust me with helping them in their lives. And it is a joy, an honor and a joy when you see people make positive changes for the better. And of course, it's heartbreaking when it doesn't happen, but that's the risk I have to take. I think probably if you look on my website, you'll see that I am in my second marriage. We were both married over 50 years, both lost our mates, and now we've been married 4 years. So I've found love 2 times, so it's pretty special.
You're a product of your own learning and teaching. How wonderful. Last time viewers take a look at the bottom of the screen, there's the website, there's the contact information. All it takes now is for basically you to step out and understand that it's not a hopeless case. Understand that you too can be part of that 80% that basically ends up much happier than you ever imagined you could be. And like she says, it's anything short but basically of miraculous. Some great changes that you'll be happy to see. That is Waverly J. Hansen, helping people find life choices. This is Gary Atensu with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know. This is Gary Atensu with CNTV, and today we're in Westminster, Colorado. I am here at Kiwi Sports Tavern. Since 2013, this family-owned sports bar has become one of the local favorites. I'm here with Mark, who is the owner. Thanks for joining us here today, Mark. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. You've got a happening bar here, a local's favorite. Share with me how it is you got involved, your family got involved in this type of industry.
Well, I've always worked in bars off and on through the years, and always wanted to own one, and this one came available, so decided to buy it and expand from there. Originally the bar was actually half the size when I got it, and expanded it out into where we're sitting right now. Added some more pool tables.
It looks great. The energy's great in here. We're talking about a tavern, sports bar, basically pool hall, a little bit of everything. Let's break it down a little one by one for the viewer. Let's start off first of all. We're talking about a full-service bar. Tell me what the bartenders are able to brew up for folks there.
The bartenders, they're pretty good. We've got some really good bartenders here. Probably the best in Westminster, I would say, honestly. I'm a little biased, but, but no, they're very good. Look after the customers very well. Can pretty much make anything you want.
Anything across the board. Let's start off, first of all, Colorado. We love our beer. What do we normally have on tap back there?
Well, generally, mostly Coors, of course. Can't go wrong with that. And all their products, Bud products as well. Some IPAs. We want to try to expand into some more local beers that have been brewed. Colorado's a big micro, beer industry, so we'd like to get into that more too as the time goes by. So
excellently. Basically, we've got a lot of people at the bar. Based on the reviews out there, the people love your bartenders. They're friendly and they keep serving them up. What are any signature drinks out there that you guys are getting known for? Is there anything they've brewed up out there?
Not at the moment, but we would like to start a kiwi drink. Something maybe with that flavour or at least the colour, just something that's signature to us. But we're still working on that. It's been trial and error. So
Let's educate the viewers a little bit. Back up and tell me how we got the name Kiwi Sports Tavern, and also a logo that is red, blue, little stars in there. Pretty catchy. Where's that come from?
It comes from New Zealand. I'm actually from New Zealand, so yeah, I wanted to kind of bring kind of my little heritage of New Zealand to Westminster, and thought it'd be good to kind of have a New Zealand themed bar, you know, and that's where we got it from, really. So
that is great. I kind of figured that when I looked at it. It's pretty catchy. Drink specials are what you guys are definitely known for, making it affordable for people to come out, have a good time, especially taking care of our Bronco fans throughout the place. This is a great place to see the game, I would imagine. We're talking about 50-inch screens and a good place.
It's a really good place to watch the game here, and we get a lot of people come in watching the games. A lot of Bronco fans that come here, hardcore Bronco fans, and it's good for them. It's good for us, and we like to support them. You know, so we like to look after them. We've got specials running through for every Bronco game this season, and that's what we normally do. So
9 a.m. to 2 a.m. I believe is what the hours are here. Is there a happy hour that goes on every day, or has that changed?
No, we have a 9 to 11 buy one get one happy hour, and then from 11 till 6 we have a pretty much a 50% off, and we also run other specials through the night, through the weekends, and depending on what events are going on.
It's definitely an atmosphere that is friendly, but at the same time, I understand that it's a little competitive. We're talking about 6 pool tables behind us here, be it 8-ball or 9-ball, whatever your choice is. Looks like these guys get some serious stick on.
You know, they do. We've got some great players here. These are leagues tonight. Every Monday night we have leagues. We are trying to get more leagues through the week, but we do have some really good pool tournaments here too with some really, really strong players, you know, and they like the tables because we look after them, you know, and keep them up to par, so they want to play on them. But yeah, it's really good to watch them play. Some of them are amazing. We've actually got our local team out of this bar in Vegas right now for the Nationals.
You basically got some local representation all the way out the west in Las Vegas. That's kind of a cool thing.
It's really cool. We're really proud of them. They've done really well. They're the only team that's been out there 3 times in a row, and they're out there right now fighting for it to try and do better. There's Canada, Japan, and the United States are represented in that tournament. So you know, they're representing well. They're trying to get into the top 100, which is kind of hard to do, because it's a couple of thousand teams that go there every year,
and we're talking men and women. I mean, they're getting out there and shooting. I see that in some of your leagues there.
Yes, definitely. Both genders. We support a lot of women here too. We do top shooter for women on our tournaments here, and we encourage women to play. Sometimes they're better than the men. They've got such a great eye and more patient. So, you know, it's good to have them.
For the folks that want to simplify the target from 6 holes down to 1 bullseye, you've also got some darts here, which is always fun when people are having a great time.
Yep, it's funny you said that. Yeah, we got 3 dart boards. They're all brand new. When I did the expansion, we only had 1, so I wanted to have at least 3, so we can have dart leagues here, and our dart league from the B class Rocky Mountain Dart Association. They won this session just gone, and we're the cup holders, so it was really good representation of our bar again with darts. So,
I mean, I can definitely see why folks, this basically becomes their bar. I mean, I'm sure that's what you had in mind when you put it together. I feel at home because we're talking about a pinball game there. We've got some golden tee golf. We got darts. Quite a bit of things that really can keep people entertained.
Well, you want a lot of things. You want a bit of variety. People, you know, they want to come and know that they can do, you know, 2 or 3 things while they're here, or just come here and just chat with some good friends, or make some new friends. You know, our clientele are very friendly, great people. So.
What about, I mean, you guys are definitely known for, they say, going all out when it comes to holidays, going all out for basically even bringing in some live music. Is that something you do from time to time?
Yeah, we want to do that, yes. We're actually going to be doing some karaoke. We're working on that right now to bring some karaoke in here for some people that would like that. And I would like to get some live music in here. But, you know, it's just when they're available, you know, they're busy too. There's a lot of bars for them to go to. So
you've already done quite a bit. I mean, just since 2013, obviously got a following of folks out here. It's a friendly atmosphere, be it inside or possibly to get a outside little patio area there. I see smoking friendly out there, so everybody's pretty happy.
Yes, we like to cater to everybody. You know, we're not prejudiced at all. It's whatever you want to do, as long as it's within the law.
Wonderful. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see basically is their website. On the website, take a look there. They've got a Facebook page out there for folks that want to keep apprised of all the pool leagues and different events they got going out there as well. And keep in mind, we're talking about a full-service bar with some of the friendliest bartenders throwing drinks at you your way. If you don't believe me, go check it out. They got reviews online right there, Facebook as well, that folks have found the bar that they really enjoy coming out to. Basically, we heard about them, that it's a great place to catch a Bronco game, so we had to come out and be able to share it with our viewers out there. Once again, that is Kiwi Sports Tavern, located right here in Westminster, Colorado. This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.